morning, everyone. Just wanted to take a minute and do a little pre-market video just to try to get an idea of what things are doing today. Uh, we do have the China names are all up big. Uh, we do have a lot of big numbers coming out this week and going into next month. We'll talk more about them tonight. Do have Nike for earnings tonight. The bonds are showing some weakness. Crude's holding in. Bitcoin is it's back over the 21. Still worried about that 200 on the weekly 200. Let's just take a minute and get right into some charts. I wanted to cover some of these and a lot more actually in a video last night, and just did not make it to just didn't have time to do it. Honestly, didn't have time to do a lot of stuff. But I do like the way Bloom Energy, BE, is trading right now. It's back above all our moving averages. As long as we hold this 9, I'm bullish. We did get some bearish volume coming in on Friday, so as long as we hold this 50, this 9's trying to swoop up and catch up now. Keep an eye on that today. Chewy had an upgrade. This chart looks really nice. This thing, it got an upgrade this morning. It's up on the scanner. We're a little extended here. So right now, day trades only until it comes back and connects with the 9. No need buying that far extended to the 9 because eventually it's going to come back. You can see this is Friday, so we ended up closing around the high. Not counting the little wick there, closing right around the high, just under the high. But this morning, you can see this big gap up here. Now, keep in mind, that could lead to a royal, an epic flush at the beginning of the day at market open. Cost looks good as well. I'm not sure what it's doing this morning, but I do like this chart. See what it's doing this morning. So it's up a little bit, nothing major. I would watch this area right here. Go back to this green candle. Watch that for resistance. You're getting a little cup here, and basically you got you put in a lower low, a lower low, a high, a lower low. Will we go up and put in a higher high? Are we starting a new trend? The MACD looks good. Dollar General, another one that we've been talking about, expecting to do well in these conditions just because it's a cheaper store and people won't be able to, if we are going into recession, people will not be able to shop at a lot of the higher value stores. So we're expecting these to do well. Getting a little extended here, but this is another one that we've talked about a lot recently and been in the videos. DLL, it's another one we've been keeping an eye on. This is bullish. You got a low, a high, put in a nice base, put in a lower low. So already looks like we're taking out this level. So we're putting in a higher high, just starting a new trend here. MACD's trying to cross and continue to push to help the price continue to push up. Dollar Tree's not doing as well. This one needs to get above this resistance level with these gaps, and 50 on the daily is resistance on that one right now. Docs strong, very strong bullish or volume on Friday to help push it up. Could have had something to do with the Russell back above all the major moving averages except for the 200. Once again, low, lower low. So low, high, low, trying to put in, or actually will be putting in a higher high. So that's just a sign of a trend change. FedEx had this saucer down here, got a really nice push on that earnings last week. Still want to keep an eye on that one. IBM. IBM's been strong in this market, showing a lot of relative strength in this market. This MACD wants to cross. I would definitely keep an eye on this one. Watch this candle for resistance. So we do have some resistance in this area. We're not that far extended from the moving averages. This is your 9 right here crawling up to it's it's working its way up to cross the 20 to the positive side. The 20 is working is right there with the price. Just an overall nice looking chart. It is one of the slower moving movers, so just keep that in mind when you're trading it. Now, this is IBB. I talked about this Friday. This is one of the charts that I use when I'm trading. I have a watch list that I'm keeping an eye on, and I watch this to see what the farm is doing. So basically, you put in a double bottom here, and you're taking out a neckline. A lot of the big farmers like BMY and Merck and Lilly and Avi, they're turning on, and they're worth keeping an eye on. They're slower movers, but you can still make money with them. BEKE. This is another one. It's actually up this morning. It's on the scanner as well. Very nice move coming out of this rounded bottom down here, pushing up back above all your major moving averages here. That one's worth keeping an eye on. Getting a little extended, but as long as we hold this 200 here, we're bullish on it. The 9 and 20s trying to catch up now. You can even see the 50 turning up. You start to see the 50 starting to roll up. Just a good sign. Seen a lot of good signs in a lot of these charts. KMB, Kimberly Clark. We had this rounded top here. We called it some bullish move out of it or bearish move out of it. Put in a bottom. Found the bottom and just pushed up back above all the major moving averages. This one's definitely on watch. When you get up back above all your major moving averages and give us a trend break, definitely on watch. It's a slower mover. Make sure you're checking your open interest to find the strikes, because it is decent to play with options as long as you are checking. It's not one of those that just has flow rolling into it very heavily like some of our names. Lockheed Martin still below this. Well, it looks like we're peaking above it right now, back above the 9. Got a shakeout candle down here. If we can push up, I can see this moving up to the 20. So watch your 429 level for your next move up. You can see I found a head and shoulders on this and never played out. A lot of these head and shoulder patterns, that's why I'm so picky. You don't have the volume characteristics down here. That's why I'm so picky with the volume characteristics with the head and shoulders. A lot of times, if you don't see the volume characteristics, they just don't play out. That's just my experience. We see a lot of these Forex guys, everything is a head and shoulders pattern. And I just have seen I found a lot of patterns over the years that just didn't work without the volume characteristics. I do want to point out that Facebook is really strong here. So, we talked about how to find the market leaders. We closed above the previous high of the day after a strong move, closed above the previous high, and now we have gapped up. Still holding. Looks like we come down, filled the gap for the most part, but we're still holding that level. So Meta is definitely on watch today. Been showing some strength the last few days, trying to bust up because it did slip below the wedge and is pushing back up. Microsoft strong as well. A nice push Friday. Closed above the highs, the highs, and then with a really nice gap this morning, showing some strength. The market looks strong. Market looks really good here. This is MQ. A lot of bearish volume come out of it. It's forming a bear flag. We are back above the moving averages here, but forming a bear flag with a lot of bearish volume. MACD looks like it could possibly pinch down. You can see it pushed up. It was taking a break, but you can see how the price has been pushing up. The MACD's not really been following. And honestly, it looks like it wants to pinch to the downside there. So watch MQ for the short side. Not saying it won't move up, but just showing some bearish tendencies there. Also, Ollie's is pushing up very well. Got this little cup action right here. I didn't draw it like that due to the lines on the chart, but you can look at this like a little cup. So, we put in a base here, a cup's a base. This has broke above the resistance levels, has filled the gap. It's on its way up. We are extended here, so it's day trade only until it comes back and connects with the 9. And really, you're not that far extended from the 9 right there. We just pushed up into the Bollinger Bands and flagged over. But you can see every time we get into this band here, we got into it there. We flagged over a little bit, broke out of it, flagged into it, trying to flag a little bit, pushed up back into it, flagged. So we may be able to, we may get another pullback, a repeat of that activity, pullback, flag on that 9 and maybe catch a move up. It's worth watching. It's another slower one. CRM was extremely strong Friday, this big move, and grind it up. So this looks a lot like the SPY. Remember in the last video or the previous video where we talked about how to find the market leaders, we showed how the SPY set that high and continued to grind and make new highs. This looks a lot like that. Closed higher than the previous daily high after this big move, and then we gapped up this morning. Looks like once again we filled the gap. So CRM is definitely one to watch today. SOXL, I just wanted to point this out. You can see, we've been talking about how this is a semiconductor ETF. It's actually leveraged, and it's for the bullish side. But you can see how much weaker this chart is compared to, like, if you look at the SPY. So we've been talking about how weak the semis have been, and they just haven't been quite treating them the same. We are back above the 9 here. Maybe we can push up to the 20. If they come after the semis today, maybe they can push up to the 20. And sometimes, if you don't know which one to trade, AMD versus NVIDIA, sometimes you can just trade SOXL or SMH. SHM is another decent one that you can follow. I prefer SOXL myself. This is SOXL's 15-minute chart. You can see it's got a nice, decent gap up here this morning. So that's got me on watch for the semis for the day. This is one that we talked about in a previous video. This is an air conditioner company, something along them lines, and we said the chart looked bullish. Got a nice push. We are back above the 200 here. That was the area that we were watching. Back above this 200 with big volume. So not just Friday's, rebalancing volume. We've been moving on expanding volume here. Look at the volume has increased in this thing. It's like I say, it's got something to do with air conditioners. I don't know the full background of the company or anything, but it has something to do with air conditioners. That kind of makes it a seasonal play. Watch your open interest on this. The last time I checked it, in my opinion, it wasn't worth trading with options unless you're, if you're doing something long term and you're buying time, then maybe. But this is more of a share play. Team, just wanted to. This had I believe an upgrade this morning. And you can see it, so you got your low here, you got a lower low, you got a high. This is actually already putting in a higher high. So we're getting a trend change, just a change in character. The MACD looks really good here, and it is showing some relative strength on the bottom of the chart. And I really don't like these, but if you could draw this, you got a trend break, getting some momentum, trying to push up. So this one may be trying to show some life. Worth keeping an eye on. Tesla. Tesla looks really good this morning. You can see, we took out the previous high when it come, at the end of the day. So it showed some decent relative strength on Friday. Big gap up here this morning. We actually went to 755. This gap does a right up over top or 750 level, which is a big level there. So that's worth keeping an eye on today. Obviously, I try to trade Tesla every day, so obviously I will be watching it. XOP, just to a reminder, this is a oil and gas exploration ETF, and we are still below this support here. So, and look at this bearish volume coming in. The moving averages are turning down. The 9's trying to catch up with the price. So we could put a base in. Watch your 200 to 115 area for support. And I believe that's the end of this video. Good luck today. I hope everybody ends the day green, and I will see you in the trading room.